And to give you kind of an example, we have a young man named Derek. I say young man, he's like 8 or 9 years old. He's on special needs, and he loves our car wash. His mom will bring him, and they'll sit at the vacuum area. She'll be cleaning her car, and he'll just watch from the outside. But they wash all the time, and in the month of November, they wash 130 times. Like, they just go through all the time.
Welcome back to the Talk Midland podcast. My name is Logan Ricchetti with Modern Realty. Today I have Tom Terry, Tommy's Express Car Wash site leader.
Yes.
Nailed it.
You did.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks. I had a chance just yesterday to go through your car wash on Saginaw Road, and it was a great experience.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. We're doing hot.
Yeah, that's exciting. What's the story? What brought Tommy's Car Wash to Midland, and how do you fit in?
So the ownership of our locations right now is a 2 ownership team. I was recruited off Indeed.com, and the owner that I answered to, his name is Todd. Him and the other guy just decided that they wanted to get into the car wash business. They own 2 restaurants over on the other side of the state near Grand Rapids, and they kind of wanted to spread out their entrepreneurship, I guess you could say. And they decided to get into the car wash business. I think they knew some folks from the Tommy's Express car wash business, corporate headquarters there. So it was kind of an easy transition for them. So they bought some land here in Midland, where the location is at, and they opened up. We've been open up for just about a year and a half now.
All right, so Tommy's Express Car Wash is a franchise.
Ours is a franchise, yes. There is corporate. Most of them are actually branched out into franchises, so yes.
Got it. So when you say corporate versus franchise, it means that there's one big corporate enterprise that owns a lot of the locations, but they also allow some third parties to come in and franchise individual locations or territories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually, a lot of people don't know this, McDonald's is kind of built that way too, so it's in the same scenario.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that before. And so this particular location is a franchise from a new pair of owners that started on the franchise concept. In their first location, they chose Midland.
Yes, correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who did the development of the actual site? Do you know?
I have no idea. Actually, good question. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a duo between the owner and somebody in corporate. You know, per contract, we have to do certain things, and then of course, the owner gets a say in some things, but as far as like the full development, I couldn't answer that one.
Well, it was fun to see it go up, and I remember driving by there many times as it was getting developed. You know, I'm into development. I really like seeing things happen and come to fruition. And I noticed they spent a lot of time on the underground infrastructure. I don't know what they're doing down there there's all kinds of things just like underneath a auto repair shop. There's things that are going on below the surface in order to accommodate all the machinery up inside, right?
Yeah. And a big part of that is, unlike a lot of other car washes, we utilize hot water. So what you probably seen was them actually putting in a bunch of hot water pipes and stuff. So as you go around the building, there's a lot of sidewalk. And a lot of that sidewalk, if you've ever driven by or watched there in the wintertime when there was a bunch of snow, it never had snow on there because it's all being flooded with hot water.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's intentional.
Yes, on purpose. So a lot of car washes that are just like Tommy's Express Car Wash, that's a way for them to save money. They don't, utilize hot water, but we're different from the competition. We utilize hot water.
How else are you different?
Well, I like to say that, especially at our Midland location, it's our stellar customer service. Compared to our competition that's in town, we do staff. Like a lot of our competitors, they go with like a minimal skeleton crew. We always have anywhere between 4 and 5 people on at all times. That way we're available. One of our biggest selling points is our mat washer. We have 2 different mat washers. One's for molded mat washers, and then the other mat. I said that wrong. One's for molded mats, and then the other mat washers for like the flat rubber or carpet. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of use on that. During our busy times. Yeah. I'm not even joking about this. During our busy times, we will have a line of people out to Yaya's parking lot waiting to use that mat washer.
Really?
And we'll send people out there to just grab the mats to help them even like take it through the mat washer, or we'll even take it inside and spray it for them. So we make sure that we are there at all times. We have 4 to 5 bodies to help out at all times. Plus, we take cash. We're one of the few car washes in town that accept cash. So we always have somebody in our cash window ready to go to help out. We discovered that Midland is still very cash happy, whereas most places were taking away the cash option during COVID. Tommy's Express kept that option, and we have a lot of cash business for that reason. Another hot point for us is our vacuums. We get a lot of, and they're free, so you don't even have to come and get a car wash. Mat washer's free. We just do that as a benefit. We want you to come spend your money. You know what I mean, but we still offer that, to the general public for free. To show you what kind of people we are. We care about you. We want Midland to be clean always.
Well, that's part of a Grand Slam offer, is having something like that where you can just come in, enjoy some of the service for free. You don't even have to pay for it. The first thing that Morgan noticed when we pulled up was that mat washer.
Yeah.
She got very excited about that. She said, "Oh, there's a mat washer." I don't know what she's talking about, but yeah, that's pretty neat because, otherwise you have to get in there and you got to vacuum it yourself by hand. And that gets tough and overwhelming, and not people don't have a lot of time to do that. But that's really nice that you can pull in, you can use the vacuums for free, you can use the mat washer. Then you go around the building, which is very well laid out. It's very strategically positioned, so you have plenty of room, and it's very clean and bright. It's beautiful. Obviously, it's a year and a half old, but it looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, we do a great job of trying to keep it up clean and stuff. And like I was actually right before I came in here today, I was just on the phone getting ready to figure out how we're going and when we're going to get our lines restriped, because winter hit and we had it plowed and stuff, and we want to keep it looking nice. So we do a good job of keeping it clean and making it look new.
The other thing I noticed right away was really good customer service. You're right. The young man that was at the window was very happy, very friendly, very enthusiastic. You could tell we were going through a transaction because we wanted to just get one service to try it. And he was offering us a chance to buy a subscription, which was a good value because the monthly subscription is only a little bit more than roughly twice a wash, right?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty darn good deal to buy a monthly subscription, and it's much easier because then you can go through the subscription line, which was another thing that was a little different.
The app lanes,
And other places I've been to, they've had two lines where one is for guests and one is for members, which is nice because the members get to go a little faster. But I noticed that was laid out strategically, almost like a bank teller line.
Yeah.
So you can go through quickly if you have a membership, and if you have to deal with a one-time purchase or any kind of customer service, there's a staff window, like you said, a McDonald's drive-through window where there's a nice guy there ready to help you.
Yep. And then what you're describing is what we call our app lane. So what we utilize when you become a member is we utilize LPR cameras. So when you pull up that to the lane, the camera's going to read your license plate. It does license plate recognition. That's what LPR stands for. And the gate comes up and you can go through. And it's unlimited car washing, legit. Like I know a lot of places, they're like, you at a cap like 2 or 3 a day. Not us. You can legit come as much as you want. And to give you kind of an example, we have a young man named Derek. I say young man, he's like 8 or 9 years old. He's on special needs, and he loves our car wash. His mom will bring him, and they'll sit at the vacuum area. She'll be cleaning her car, and he'll just watch from the outside. But they wash all the time, and in the month of November, they wash 130 times. Like they just go through all the time. So there is a 3-minute break in between the washes, because they say that what it is by the time you get into the car wash and you come back around, it takes 3 minutes, and then you can go again. So there is an actual break, but it is legit. Wash as much as you want. We want it to look nice. And when talking about the subscriptions, right? Like a lot of people are like, listen, we don't want to do that. We don't want our card on file and stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're a very streaming world right now. So it's no different than like Netflix, Hulu, anything like that, right? You can cancel at any time too, you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, if you want to keep your car clean, you get the Works Wash, which is a $20 for one-time wash. And we offer that for $39.99 a month unlimited. If you wash your car twice a month, you've got your money's worth out of that. You know what I mean? And then you get to look nice and all the time. And that's what we're going for. We want Midland to be the shiniest town in the nation.
Well, I love getting my car washed and my truck washed. I do it all the time. And especially in the spring months and, in the winter too, obviously.
Winter for sure.
The heavy time. Yeah. Especially after the big snow and everything's slushy and nasty.
Salt.
Yeah. But I love having it shiny and gleaming. I don't do it as much as I want to, but it's so convenient to be able to go through without stopping, without having to talk to anybody, without having to do a transaction.
Correct.
You can just get in line, go through it, and zip out.
Yes.
That's really nice.
It is nice.
All right, I got a crazy question for you.
Go for it.
Why do companies like car washes and other companies as well, fast food and others, why do they set up shop right next to a direct competitor?
It's funny you say that. When we first met, which was at the Midland Business Alliance, somebody else asked me that question when they came up to the table, and I was like, I guess we're just going to be like the CVS and Walgreens of car washes. So wherever there's a Mr. Car Wash, we're going to build one at. You know what I mean? Good question. Home Depot, Lowe's is kind of the same way. I can tell you that it seems to be a business model that works. And so that's kind of how they do it. And I know that the next location that we're opening up in Bay City, we're going to be right by another competitor there too. So it seems to be the norm now.
And that is a competitive strategy.
Yeah, it appears to be so.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and I think it has to do. I don't know how. It's counterintuitive that if you put a McDonald's next to a Taco Bell, next to a Burger King, whatever, that you would actually do more business than less.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but I think it draws more people. So you get some of their clients, they get some of your clients, but at the end of the day, more people are coming to that area for that need.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a better chance, as opposed to saying you set up shop, 5 miles away from a competitor. Now you have to create awareness of that industry independent of your competitors' awareness, who all their clients already have, right? They already know where the other place is. Now they at least have an alternative idea to look at because they know it's there and because it's close by.
Yeah.
That's what I assume it probably has to do with.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I never thought of it the way you just thought of it, but yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, who knows? But another thing you mentioned when you did your nice speech at the MBA morning, Wake Up Midland, I thought you did a great job, which was cool.
Thank you.
But you mentioned that career development is a big priority for Tommy's Express.
Yes, it is.
So what does that look like?
So for us specifically, we got Bay City opening up hopefully end of the year, beginning of next year, and then we're looking beyond after that. Like our ownership is already looking at different locations and stuff, and we'll probably announce that in due time. But one thing that we did was we were very strategic on who we offered positions to when we did our hiring events. We started off with my assistant site leader is Chad, who I was able to introduce at the Midland Business Alliance. Sharp young man, 28 years old. When I was 28, I was not as smart as this dude. I did not have my head on my shoulders very well at all. This dude does. And, we're grooming him and getting him ready to take over Bay City when Bay City opens. And then we did another great hire. Her name is Abby, shift leader. And she just kind of grabbed that ball and ran with it and said, you know what, I'm going to teach myself how to do everything as far as operations are concerned. We utilize something we call Tommy's Express dashboard. How do I utilize that? Which is, we can get into customers' accounts and update their cards, whatever the case may be. We hired some minors as well. And I was able to introduce my son, Ethan, and Max. And actually the dude you were just talking about yesterday when you went through sounds like Max. Max's very first job he ever had. He did well with understanding what's going on and stuff. And we hired 20 people right off the bat when we opened up this location. Wow. And we've been able to maintain about 9 of them, and all of them have loved what we did. And a lot of that has to do with our leadership, starts with our ownership team. We just want to, make sure that we are set for the future. So we treat them right. One thing we also are very big on is second chances. And I've got a shift leader named Nate. And he just needed a second chance. We were able to give him that second chance, and he has taken advantage of that. So we care about people first and foremost. So the very first time that we had actually sat down with our owner, when I say we, was me and Chad, we had actually trained in the Lansing location, and he came and met us there, took us to Red Robin, and we had sat down to meet with him. First thing he said is, we're a business, and I want to run this like a business, but at the same time, I want to care about our people. More than any other place, that's what I want to do. And I want to be employer of choice when it comes to, the people that are, struggling, that they might need to get a second job or something like that. What can we do to maintain them? And we've done a good job of that. We really have. I've worked at other places where, they preach that. They preach family. They preach camaraderie. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to business, right? You're a business owner locally, so you get it. You understand what I'm saying. And we have bills to pay. We want to make money. But first and foremost, we put our people first. And a lot of people are going to probably watch this and say, "Oh, this dude's just saying the same old and spewing." No, come find out. Come check us out. Come talk to our team. You'll find out we've maintained a very good camaraderie and family environment there, and that's how we're going to continue to be successful.
All right, let's talk about the organizational structure of one location. It sounds to me you have crews with a crew leader.
Yes.
Or you call him a shift leader.
Shift leader, yeah.
And then you have a shift supervisor.
No.
Is that next?
So we have a shift leader. We'll start from top bottom. So there's the site leader, myself. Then we have assistant site leader, sorry. And then we have 3 shift leaders. Okay. So the way that it's staffed every day is we have a shift leader comes in the morning, and then some shift leader in the afternoon. So and so on and so on. So we've got 3 full-time shift leaders and 2 part-time shift leaders.
Okay. And so there's 2 shifts per day,
Yes.
10-hour day, roughly? 10, 12 hour
Eight
day?
to 10 hours.
Okay. So the first shift leader, full time, he or she comes in, they have that half of the day. Then the second one has the second half of the day. Then maybe the third one has the next or whatever. They schedule around each other's availability, right?
For
But
sure.
at all times, there's one shift leader running the shift.
There is.
Okay. And then there's a crew.
Yes, there is a crew. Yes.
So the entry level is crew member.
Correct.
And those are the guys and gals that are inside the lane. They're supporting the customers. They're doing jobs according to need.
Yes.
And then there's, like you said, 4 or 5 of those on site at any given time.
Yes.
With a leader. Okay. And then there's somebody above that. I assume the assistant site supervisor or the assistant
site leader. Yeah.
who manages the scheduling.
For the most part, yes. We're going through like we were talking about developing. So like right now we have one of our shift leaders that is actually being trained on scheduling. But for the most part, yeah, the assistant site leader takes care of the scheduling, the operating part of it, for sure.
And scheduling is harder than it sounds.
It really is, because especially in our case, we've got teenagers, and we got some that are involved in athletics, some that are involved in their drama club and stuff like that. And we take that serious. We're not the type of business that is like, oh, if you don't have wide open availability, we're not going to schedule you. No. We work around their education and their needs, for sure.
Well, I spent the last 2 months trying to figure out how to schedule childcare, which is tough because it's tough business. 10 hours a day, and it's very grueling, and people need breaks, and you can't use too many hours because you get overwhelmed and burnt out. But I also used to manage a restaurant back in the old days, and it was all high school kids. It was a summer job scenario, so we had 30, 40 kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me tell you, that's a puzzle game trying to put all those schedules together between band practice and vacations and all the sports and other things. But I really admire and appreciate that you are flexible especially for high school kids. Working around their availability, because high school kids, first and foremost, they're students, and then they're athletes, or they're participating in school activities. The ones that choose to take initiative to get a job like that, it's hard to find a job. So this is a great idea for 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are looking to get started in the workforce entry level, where they can have a chance to actually move up as well. I had a 16-year-old kiddo in my office yesterday for about an hour, just mentoring and helping out and giving direction about real estate and other ideas. And we were talking about what his plans were going to be for the summer. And I think this would be a great fit, because he needs some entry level work. He needs to learn how to show up and punch a clock and have responsibilities and learn your roles and learn about the hierarchy and the structure and having a boss and learning about, achieving your responsibilities. And I think that's great. I really think it's wonderful. And then also, you got the higher level where you got the shift supervisors and the site managers and all those different levels of management and growth and development. Those are important, especially for our workforce.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad you brought this to Midland.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad they did too. And when you were talking earlier, as it was coming and being built, I remember when that was starting, I had heard it was going to be a bank, and I remember thinking, Midland does not need another bank. And then I heard it was going to be another gas station, and And then one day, all of a sudden, Tommy's Express showed up, and I remember thinking, we don't need another car wash, but apparently we did, and we've done a good job to earn the trust of Midland, and keep us looking nice and shiny. And we are extremely busy right now, and that's been because Midland has really attached to us and really liked what we've been doing.
One of the things I like about the experience is the glass windows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of natural light as you go through that car wash.
Yes, nice and shiny. The red really brings people in and stuff. And for those of y'all that haven't been through yet, you can attest to this. The tunnel is huge. So anybody that even feels claustrophobic going in, it's a huge tunnel. You'll actually see some of us walking around in there sometimes, spraying down the equipment and stuff, waving at you as you're going through. And as you're pulling in, you can actually look inside and see what's going on as you're coming around.
Yes, it's much more open. It's much less claustrophobic. There's more light. There's more space. It's extremely clean. I don't know if it's always like that or whatever, but
we do our best.
It was a really clean experience. And that shows a lot of pride of ownership, a lot of pride of the employees that are working there, and obviously the leaders that are maintaining that quality. So that's a nice thing to see. We do that at Modern Realty too. We try really hard to keep it clean. We just had our spring refresh with the yard, the landscaping, and we have
that time of year.
Yeah, we have it cleaned 3 times a week inside. We want the building to be clean, fresh. Every day we wipe it down, and that pride of ownership goes a long way with the customer experience. So what are some of the challenges with putting together a car wash in a new market?
Some of the challenges, honestly, it's funny you brought up, going next to another competitor. What's the competition, going to be like? Who are we going to go up against? You also look at the type of clientele you're going to have. You know what I mean? Like, is it when like one of the places I've been pushing for my owner to look into is Claire. You know what I mean? And when he does his research, he looks at how many people live in Claire. So when he pulls that up, it doesn't show a lot of people living in Claire. And I was like, well, look at the surrounding areas of Claire too, and see if that kind of fits what you're looking for. So Midland was perfect for that. We got 50,000 people around that. And that's kind of what they look for. Was the surrounding areas as well. So I haven't been involved too much in as far as not yet anyway. Hopefully I will be soon as far as like going to different locations and all I know is that what they do look at is how's the competition doing in that area and how many people are living in that area as well.
Well, how do you acquire a new customer? What are the marketing strategies that Tommy's Express Car Wash uses to attract and convert new clients?
Marketing is the biggest one right now. Like one of the things that was a big selling point for me when I did the interview with our ownership was they preach community, and they actually pulled up the stats and showed Tommy's Express and how much money they spent in the community where they've been at and stuff like that. So that's been huge for us. I got kids that attend the Midland Public Schools here, so we're big on making sure Little League's taken care of. We sponsor all kinds of stuff like that. We just had a big fundraiser with the ARC of Midland, which is for special needs and stuff like that, which is near and dear to my heart because I've got a special needs son. So being involved is the biggest part of that. But honestly, the one thing we do is that we just give good old fashioned customer service. That's been our biggest thing. And when I was asked that in the interview, it was like, how are you going to get people to want to come and how are you going to maintain them? And that's it. Good old fashioned customer service. And we've kind of lost that along the way. And I could spend a whole 5 or 6 podcasts with you talking about that based on my experiences and stuff. But I'm an old school kind of guy when it comes to that, just kind of meeting the customer at their needs. What's going on? How can I help you? How can I make this right for you? That kind of thing. And that's it. It's that simple, and that's what we've done here. And that's why we have such big success so far.
Well, I really like the idea of sponsoring Little League teams with this concept because it creates a lot of awareness. And it's, I still remember growing up in Midland and wearing the jerseys of local small businesses like Quick and Reliable Plumbing and Kiwanis and all these different, that creates lifelong brand connections between
for sure
the business and the community when you sponsor Little League and little small sport, kids sports like that. So I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
They'd be red, be red jerseys.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah. Little League baseball, we're really involved in that. You know what I mean? We just did a sponsorship for a basketball team for the community center.
Cool.
So yeah, we try to be really involved. And like I said, it's Midland's a very family friendly, kid friendly kind of place. So we want to make sure that our name is out there and that we support that, and hopefully we get business in the process.
All right, give the community one quick pitch about why they should try Tommy's. One reason.
Because you want your car to look nice. We want Midland to be the shiniest town in America. Come check it out. I honestly never really thought about that until I started working there. I didn't come from a car wash background. I was just intrigued by the community aspect of it and what they showed me in the interview. And then once I started washing my car all the time, I realized how important it was, just maintaining it, making it look nice, showing that you have care and concern for what you have. Yeah, I mean, it's bringing business to Midland. It's bringing income to Midland. So that's my sell point.
All right. If anybody wants to try it out, where would you send them?
If you want to try it out, come see us. You can actually come to the cash window and we will give you the same spiel you heard yesterday. We're going to try to sell you a subscription, and we actually have a deal going on right now, which is our Works Wash, which is usually one-time wash, $20 for one wash, and we're offering it for the next 30 days, unlimited washing for $20. If you are not the type of person where you're a people person and you want to just download the app, you can do that too, and you can actually get you whatever wash package you get, which we got 4 different wash packages. Start anywhere from $21.99 a month, which is just the basic wash, basically soap and water, all the way up to the Works Wash, which is anything under God's green earth that we can slap on your car to make it shiny. The basic's $21.99. The Works is $39.99.
That's for the membership.
Yep, you can get your first month free based on whatever package you download on the app.
All right, let me restate that. So there's 4 package options.
Yes.
Lowest one is $21.99.
It is.
Highest one's $39.99
Yes.
per month, unlimited washes. You can sign up for those either one of 2 ways. You can go into the car wash and talk to an associate
Yes.
at the counter, and they can get you set up, or you can go online and set up and order it online through an app.
Yep, you go to the Tommy Express Car Wash app. Just download it, and you'll have your choice of the 4 packages. Whichever one you pick, you get your first month free.
All right, so you go to the App Store and you download it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there a website they can go as well to link to it?
Yeah, Tommy'sExpress.com.
Tommy'sExpress.com
Yes.
is the website, or you can go to App Store and download the app. Where is the location address of Tommy's?
It is 1303 South Saginaw Road. If you know where the old Kmart was, we're right across the street from where the old Kmart was.
Tom, thanks for being on the Talk Midland podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.